my vision is that creating something that is best for the inhabitants.
We want to use FR as much as we can so that the risk factor goes down.
Basically, use of materials that are locally viably available, so that the transportation cost does not shoots up to a level which is, I think, which is practically a bad thing to have for any site. So use of local materials and local techniques for supposedly having the construction materials, construction techniques. We use the filler slabs, the jack art slabs, and the materials which are like the natural stones. These are the things that we try to use, which lead to a building with good Griha ratings, with good LEED ratings. So we try to incorporate all the practices that one should have in a tier 2 city like Hissar. We have been practicing these techniques since very long now, and the sites have also come up to be very beautiful and are landmark sites of the city. So recently we completed a building named Jindal Rolling Mills. It is of the Jindal Industries. We've all heard about them. It is their administrative block in Hissar. So we are into many commercial projects. Like we have completed 6 months earlier, we have completed Yash Jewellers, Suraj Jewellers, Madhur Ice Cream. These are all good sites of the city which have been serving the city since very long, and they wanted a project and they connected with us so that they could continue their legacy in a way that we wanted to impart them through the building itself. So,
recently we have done the Ganga Hotel in Fatehabad. The site came so beautiful, I can't elaborate.
We always strive to do something different. Anyone who comes to us and says that I have seen a building and can you please, from what you can create a duplicate copy of that building in our city, I blankly turn him to a no and say that we are into something that will give you something new. If you want it, then you can stay, or otherwise we can part ways. That is the main vision behind our success. For me, function stands on the top. If a building is being made for some particular group of people, or we can say a group of or some family. So for me, always the utmost important thing about a building is that it should serve all its function to the people that we are serving. So first thing is function, and then secondly, the look of the building, the facade. I always try to keep it very linear, very geometric, so that I've seen things in a different way. I've seen buildings which look strikingly very beautiful on the first go, but maybe after 6 months or after 7 months, the facade just fades away due to may it be weather conditions or may it be some topographical conditions. So where we people work, we have a temperature difference of around, you can say, in summers we go to about 50 degrees Celsius, and in winters we get around -2 or -3. So the first thing that whenever we design a facade is to keep all these factors in our mind. And on respect of your question regarding the cultural practices go hand in hand with the designing of the smaller details of the facades. For example, in a recent project, we used a metal composite jali that we made through some CNC router cutting designs, and it gave us an effect of airy as well as it was a fusion of modern with the cultural practices.
We want to use FR as much as we can so that the risk factor goes down, and we want to use FR into the kitchens as well.
This is something that we are into we are going into phase 2. So now what the thing was, earlier the metal composite panels were only limited to the facade. Now we have started using it in the interiors as well. So we recently visited the plant as well. We visited the Hissar plant of Aludecor, and we saw the earlier we used to listen about the qualities, but once when you see it, then you are 100% dead sure about the things. So after seeing the qualities and the practices that the factory practices there, we are 100% sure that we are with a we're working with a very nice organization who not only works for the well-being of the clients, as well as it also gives us a pushback so that you can use the product anywhere that we want to use it.
Okay.
May it be kitchen, may it be washroom vanities, earlier we used to use wood or some metal sheets, but after some due course of time, they used to fade away, the polish used to go off. So after using these panels, we are particularly very satisfied with the performance that the panel gives us. And the size is the main concern. The size that the ACP or the industry gives us is tremendous. So now if we want a size that is not 8x4, which is a very common size, that is why we are more confident about it. If I recently used it in a covered wardrobe shutter. So we wanted a wardrobe shutter to be around 14 feet high. So if we used the conventional method of using a plywood and pasting it with some laminate or something, so I was sure that I would not achieve a very clean or seamless look. So at that position also we used the panel. The major thought behind every usage of the panel or any other product that we are talking about today is that we do not overuse it.
Yeah,
I've seen buildings using ACP. Suppose if a building is a 4-side open building and they used it like every square foot of it has ACP. So for me, it is like a jewelry. There was a project in Hissar itself, and we used some aluminum composite panels, and there were also other materials, just like I told you that it is a highlighting element for me. So there were some manufacturing problems with the other products, as well as there was some different shade difference was there in the batch. So when I recommended them the panel of our prestigious brand, after that they called me and they said that there is some batch difference or some color difference, minor color difference. So I had a conversation with my local teams that were connected to the main manufacturing unit, and within 7 days of time I got the replacement. So when you are recommending a thing, the first thing you want is that your respect is at stake. And when the panel got replaced, the pride moment that I had in my eyes and when I went to the site was something that gave me a kick to use it more, because now I have a belief in my mind that even if something goes wrong, people are there behind my back. There was no issue that I had to face, because the product was somewhere there was a minor issue in the product, but still the company gave me a total back in terms of that we'll change the product, and within 7 days of time the higher authorities came, they checked the site and they changed the product, and that gave me a big push.
More challenge was there, like on a very dusty road, the client naturally don't want to use louvers, right? So we came across the Cortina series and we used it on 2 sites of ours, and the response was tremendous. Like we can't recognize that is it actually louver or the illusionary sheet. So that was actually amazing. So we are more into Aludecor.
And the fabricators that they have trained, the people that they have trained on the local level is also is a great initiative that they have done. So we need not to find any person, or every new site does not come with a challenge that who will work on this site.
Right.
So we have the fabricators team as well who works day and night and completes our job on time.
Wow. I really want to appreciate a thing. When we visited the Haridwar plant, we saw that they are planting daily. Everyone who is visiting there, they are planting.
So that is also for someone nature loving like me. If I visited the plant and I have a plant in my name, I love it. It has been always a part of our culture, but I think we forgot it, and we shifted to things that were more they were more catchy. We shifted towards them. Like for example, our structure in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer supposedly, or a structure in Jodhpur or Jaipur. If we make it a corporate building and we clad it with multiple layers of glasses, we are just copying it and making it something that will look like a building in Europe. But we are not at a satisfaction of giving it a traditional look. So it was always a part. I'll just say that we have forgot our roots. So and the impact of it is such that now after all these years of using the Western conventional practices of maybe using of glasses and the concrete jungles sort of things, that people are now coming back, and they're coming back strong, and they want something that is locally produced, not locally regarding the state or the city, but at least something that is made in India, and it is it has been made with respect to all the conditions and all the climatic and topographical conditions that we people actually need. So there are certain products like ours as well. It undergoes many laboratory tests, some salt tests, and everything like that, so that in a variable temperature of maybe -2 to 50, it can always sustain. So these kind of things do give us a kick, really. The product that we are today discussing, it is something which is in our green list since very long, because the product has almost a minimal waste, the ACPs, and the wastage and the plastic waste that it releases at the last, it is very minimal. We visited the plant and saw that the defaulting, the batches that defaulted, how they used it again and again, and till its very epitome, they used it till the very last. It gives us a satisfaction.
Talking about like innovations, we especially want to do buildings where AC is needed at minimum. We want to do ventilation at its best. So these things we want to add. Today, what people are doing is like close the window, don't increase the height, but they are eventually forgetting about the ventilation process, which we as human we need the most.
Anything that is designed is good for some Tom, Dick and Harry, but is it the best for him? That is the question.
True.
My vision is that creating something that is best for the inhabitants. And when I talk about the best, it includes all the parameters. May it be the structural conformities, may it be the facade materials, may it be the use of materials that tend to give them zero waste and do not spread some contaminated pollution into the environment. For me, everything counts. So if I talk about it in a single line, I want my structures to be the best. And regarding the vision of the buildings and the structures that I have in my mind for my future generations is that they should look at the building and they should say that this building was designed absolutely best at that point of time, and as well after 50 years it should be talked about that this was a structure that was designed with a future-ready vision, that it will serve its people today, after some time, and after 50 years as well.